Hmm. Hello and welcome to our self-love makeover. I'm so glad you're here today. I look forward to your any comments you have or questions or suggestions. I'm watching the chat, so I look forward to you putting your comments in there. My slides are not the right size, so they're showing up a little bit funny today, but we will get through it. So I don't think it's a huge problem. So, welcome so much. And I'm wondering if you're feeling the love today. It's Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day can be a mixed bag. But I'm here today to talk a little bit about us loving ourselves and what that can do for you, and what that can do for us, each of us, and what how we start and what kind of transformation that can promise. So I'm not planning on being, I don't think this is going to take very long, but I will share at the end how you can get some more information on self love and beginning a transformation, really taking wherever you are today and expanding your experience of self love in your life for a variety of benefits. So I will be sharing with you how to continue that process and some ways that I can support you. And I'm happy to do that. So thank you for being here. Once you show up, feel free to put your a comment in the live stream if you can see it. I think that there's a little bit of a hiccup with LinkedIn and the connectivity there on being able to see your messages, but try it. And if I see your messages, I'll let you know. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to share the slides, and we're going to talk about self-love and let me get rid of that little banner thing there. And let's talk about self love and the elements of self love, which are included there at the bottom of the slide: self worth, self awareness, self care, self respect, self esteem, and self growth. And we're not going to talk about all those today, but just did want to point out that those are all aspects of really feeling and experiencing self love, which is so important in life. And I started thinking about this a few weeks ago when a client of mine was sharing with me that she didn't talk with herself very positively. We learn that as children to sometimes be our own worst critics, and that can add some challenges in our lives that we don't need to have. Our culture is just naturally kind of critical and cynical, and it can be at times. And when we pick up on that, we can internalize it and start doing some or participating in some habits or limit that are not helpful for us, and letting go of habits that are helpful for us. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of self love. And first, just a definition so that we're all on the same page, because it can mean a lot of things to different people. But what if we talked about self love as just being accepting and loving of ourselves for who you are, while at the same time making sure your actions and behaviors follow suit? So it really has to do with acceptance and believing that you are worthwhile and a good person, and that you add value, and that you bring all of that to the table in your life experience automatically, while at the same time making that sure that our behaviors, everything we say and do, and even what we think and our beliefs are congruent with that perspective that we accept and we love ourselves. So, if that's self love, imagine all the benefits that it can have in your life. And if you are enjoying some of this, or you have a question or a comment about that definition, please. Please put it in the chat box, and I would love to address that for you. So, self love has many benefits. Once we get into a regular routine of self love, self acceptance, and those habits and behaviors really supporting our beliefs and our thoughts around self love and self acceptance, our fear, our doubt starts to diminish. our relationships become more meaningful. It can be very helpful in helping in our reduction of stress and just feeling less anxious and feeling more satisfied and fulfilled in life. Our life tends to have more meaning. And I know a lot of us are looking at working to develop more meaning in our lives, more of a sense of purpose ever since the pandemic started a few years ago. We're going into our third year, so it's been about 2 years, a little over 2 years. Um, when we love ourselves and accept ourselves, our viewpoint of life and opportunities tends to widen and broaden so that we don't have a real narrow perspective on what our options are and what our choices are in life. We're more capable of loving others because love is like a muscle. The more we use it, the healthier and stronger it becomes. So we do tend to become more accepting and loving and caring and have more meaningful and caring relationships and experiences in our lives. We feel more productive, in part because we just have more energy and because we're spending less time doubting ourselves and really questioning ourselves and being fearful in our minds. And we can then transfer that that energy and that time into being more productive and getting more done. And we have more of an honest sense of who we are, what we can do, and what we want. Once we get clear on accepting ourselves, and then we don't have to be questioning so much, so much. But that's not the end of it. That self-love can also translate into a healthier life and just overall well-being of our bodies because we're not so stressed out and we can relax better. We make healthier decisions for ourselves because once we love ourselves, we see the value and the purpose in feeding ourselves well, eating healthy, exercising, taking care of our bodies. We just feel more confident, more comfortable in our own skin, and we won't tolerate being mistreated because we respect ourselves. We have more self respect. You recognize your true worth. You see that you are worthwhile, not always because of what you do, but who you are, the good person that you are with the positive intentions and the good works that you do. And you can become more empathetic towards others because you're just thinking about your own situation in life and how you deal with challenges. And as you come across challenges, you systematically address them and move past them. And so this helps us to develop more empathy for others also. And because we become more clear about who we are, we understand that what our passions are. We get more of a strong sense of self, and you learn to trust yourself more because you appreciate yourself, you respect yourself, you're more sensitive to who you are, and so you trust yourself more. So there's so many benefits to self-love, and self-love has 6 different aspects to it. I've been studying this for a while because my client I mentioned before, as she talked about not really talking to herself in her mind very nicely, I thought about my own experiences with that and the experiences I've seen with my other clients having the same challenges. And as I read more about aspects of self love and experiences of self love, I learned that it's really tied into a number of different, what I would call self aspects. Our sense of self worth, our sense of self awareness, self care, self respect, self esteem, self growth. All of these are really involved in self love. And the more we practice self love habits and self love practices, the more we experience our self love and experience everything listed here, the 6 aspects that are related to self-love. And so going to the next slide, this shows just a visual of how everything is really integrated. Self-love is integrated with self-worth and feeds off of self-awareness, helps us with our self-care, helps us with our self-respect, self-esteem, and our self-growth. And so the more that we integrate the 6 different elements into our lives, the more we experience self-love. And to a large degree, the opposite also. The more we love ourselves, the more we have each of those other 6 aspects. And the more we have each of those other self aspects, the more we experience self-love. So there are just bonuses on top of bonuses. And I want to thank you for being here today. But before we close, I did want to share with you my website there. And also, I wanted to share with you how some ideas on how you can start a transformation towards self-love in a very positive and systematic way. And that is, I encourage you to download my self-love makeover worksheets. There are 3 of them, and I have them here. I started posting these last week in anticipation of Valentine's Day, and working on making Valentine's Day a little bit of a self-love day. So if you go to this website here at the bottom of the screen, you can actually see, let me take this off there. You can actually download these worksheets. And the first one goes through the 6 criteria that are related to self-love and ask you some powerful questions about where you are with each of those. And then the second one gives you lists out some of the benefits of self-love, and I encourage you to circle the ones that you would really like to see realized in your life, to give you some reflection and some deep thoughts around that. And then the third one talks about weaknesses that you may have around experiencing your own self-love that may be blocking you. And I have a few questions here and a space for you to write out and journal about your answers. And you can print these and write on them at the website here, or just download them from that website, and you can type right into them, because I've created text boxes in the spaces where you can write. So if you like to print and write things out, then go for it. And if you like to download and just type into your forms, which is usually more what I do, then then you can do that. You can just download it and type right into the worksheets on your computer. And you can get those worksheets at the URL that you see on the screen now. And then you've got them forever. They're free. They're yours to use and yours to share. And with that, I look forward to any questions that you have. If you're interested in learning more about self-love and practices that will help you develop and support your self-love, please send me an email or DM me on social media, and I'll put you on a list to be invited to a free webinar that I have coming up. And I look forward to seeing you then. So if you want to be in the free webinar, just please email me or DM me, and you can actually, let's see, let me just put in you can, I'm going to put in, let me see. And here is my email address. If you would like to email me and get invited to the free webinar that I have coming up, that talks more systematically about how to start your practices. And I do go into each one of the 6 dimensions around self-love in the upcoming webinar. It'll be about 45 minutes plus some time for questions. So I look forward to seeing you there. If you want to be invited and see the link to enroll, just go ahead and email me. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day, and blessings on your self-love journey. Thank you. Bye-bye.